What's up, everybody? The Book of Boba Fett is what's up. The second episode happened a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, this seems to be a recurring trend lately, but I did not get a chance to talk about it as soon as it aired. There was some weird work-related stuff that happening in my life that kind of prevented me from watching it on time, but I did watch it eventually, and now it is time to give my thoughts and opinions on it. And my initial reaction to it is, I absolutely loved it. I loved this second episode much better than the first episode. I mentioned, I believe, in my last recap episode, or rather, my last recap of the show, that while I liked the first episode, there were definitely some pacing issues, especially concerning the flashback to current day ratio of the first episode. Now, apparently, it seems that something that I referenced in my last recap show is apparently happening. It's gonna be like very much like Arrow or Once Upon a Time. The show itself is gonna be split into two distinct timelines of what happened immediately after Boba Fett crawled out of the Sarlacc pit, and Boba Fett himself as the new Daimyo. I think that is the name. One of these days I gotta remember what that term of the new big crime lord of Tatooine, what it's called. But yeah, these two distinct timelines of modern, or rather current day Boba Fett, and Boba Fett 5 years ago crawling out of the Sarlacc pit. And I gotta say, the theme of consistency with myself is actually staying on point. I actually much preferred the flashbacks rather than what is currently happening in Boba Fett's life. I will say, though, one of the big reasons why I think this episode is far superior to the previous episode is because they pretty much did exactly what I said they should do in last week's episode, but they did it in this episode, which is have both different timelines, both different storylines that they're trying to tell be completely separate from one another. Last week I mentioned how it would have been great if we just got all the flashback stuff first as one consistent, continuous thing, and then it transitioned into the current day stuff of him trying to run his new crime empire on Tatooine as its own one continuous thing, instead of just jumping back and forth between the two, which is something that they did in this episode, and I actually really liked it. I really appreciated it. They did it a little bit the opposite way of what I suggested they would do, but I'll take what I can get. I will say this, while I am to at least a certain degree intrigued in the storyline that we're getting to see here, Boba Fett trying to establish himself as the new, for lack of a better word, big kahuna of the of Tatooine, the lead head crime lord, taking over from Bib Fortuna, who took over from Jabba the Hutt. It's great to see the mayor of Mos Espa, and it's nice to see that the mayor is an Ithorian with a translation thing, because obviously you can't really understand Ithorian language. I don't even know what the language is called, but it's nice that we get to see an Ithorian in this show, and we get to see the Twi'lek girl who's running the bar. Again, it's nice to see her back. It's nice to see that Max Rebo has some work has actually been employed after Jabba's sail barge went down. And apparently Jabba actually had cousins, known as the twins, two additional Hutts. And I liked the way Boba Fett addressed these guys. He's like, this is my turf now, go back to Nal Hutta, you're no longer welcome here. And it seems to be teasing an all-out war between Boba Fett and these two Hutts, Jabba's cousins. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of curious to know what happened to Jabba's son, Rota the Huttlet, which was pretty heavily featured during the Clone Wars movie. I mean, are people just trying to sweep that under the rug and pretend that never happened, or Did something actually happen to Rhoda that we didn't see? I don't know. A lot of stuff could have happened in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, so who knows? But, yeah, so apparently, if Rhoda's not around to claim, essentially, the throne, as they say, of the main crime lord of Tatooine, which, by all accounts, I mean, he should inherit that after his father, Jabba, died. I'm guessing something must have happened to the little guy, so who knows? So that's why the cousins are claiming their claim for the thing. I will say this: while I loved the tease that they showed us Black Chrysanthemum of all people in this episode, it's great to see Black Chrysanthemum. I'm assuming it is Black Chrysanthemum because, I mean, he looks like him. He's got the same armor. Only difference is he doesn't have the massive scar across his eye that Obi-Wan gave him during in the comics. But, I mean, it's Black Chrysanthemum. I mean, it's pretty obvious it's Black Chrysanthemum. But the problem is he doesn't do anything. He's just there to look cool, which ironically is what Boba Fett was originally doing in the original trilogy. Yes, he's just there to look cool and intimidating, to try to scare off Boba Fett from going into all-out war with these Hutts, and then he just walks away. So, hopefully we'll get to see Black Chrysanthemum actually fighting at some point during this series, but that was pretty much all there really was to that particular part of the episode. I did like the tease of, if you won't say it to me, maybe you'll say it to the Rancor, and they were teasing the whole Rancor stuff, and obviously, if you watched Return of the Jedi, you know that the Rancor is dead, but I liked that bait and switch stuff. But other than that, there really isn't much to say about that part of the episode. So much to unpack with the flashback stuff. I loved Boba Fett training with, like, not really the chief, but, like, the guy, the sort of master combatant of the Tusken Raiders. Everything that has to do with the Tusken Raiders in this show, I adore it. I eat it up. I mentioned last week, my last recap show that I loved everything to do with the Tusken Raiders. I want more of the Tusken Raiders lore and culture explored in this show. And it looks like we're going to get that. It looks like we're going to get multiple episodes with Boba Fett, with the Tribes of Tatooine, which is the title of the episode, which I liked. We're going to see Boba Fett with the Tusken Raiders. We're going to get to learn more about the Tusken Raiders and that whole side that has, for the most part, been completely untouched as far as Star Wars canon is concerned. So it's great. We get to see Boba Fett building his own gaffy stick, which is the same one he's using in The Mandalorian Season 2. I love the train sequence. It's very much reminiscent of a lot of Western movie stuff, which Star Wars was originally inspired by. One of the main inspirations of Star Wars. It's a great sequence. I'm guessing that the people who ran the train that Boba Fett essentially ransacked with his group of Tusken Raiders, I'm guessing they're the Pikes. I mean, they have the familiar Pikes helmet, and they mentioned the spice mines in Kessel, which we did see the Pikes control during the Han Solo movie. Again, a lot of stuff could have happened after the Han Solo movie and Boba Fett, especially as far as the crime lords are concerned, because at the time, I mean, it's presumed that Maul was controlling all the different crime lords, including the Pikes, which is something that's similar to what he did in the Clone Wars TV show. But then again, Maul is dead now. He died a couple of years ago, even before the events of A New Hope. So what happened to the Pikes? Who's controlling the Pikes now? You know, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. But that was a great sequence with the train. It was great seeing the Pikes. It was great to finally see them remove that helmet so we finally get to see what they look like. Now, again, I'm assuming these are the Pikes, but I have no absolute confirmation that these are the Pikes. But that, like I said, the whole train sequence was great, masterfully orchestrated. The whole part about Boba Fett training the Tusken Raiders how to ride speeders and, just making them stronger could be pretty dangerous for the rest of the residents of Tatooine. But then again, something you have to remember, Tatooine really does belong to the Tuskens, and I guess the Jawas. So basically, all these other people who live on Tatooine, they're just, foreigners. They're just foreign conquerors or colonizers, I should say. So, I mean, the Tuskens have more of a claim for the land of Tatooine than anyone else living there. Hopefully, that doesn't really come into blows as far as the future of the show. Hopefully, Boba Fett doesn't have to go to war with the Tusken Raiders. He's currently helping, or rather helped, in the past tense, because, like I said, these are flashbacks. But yeah, then the whole scene with the lizard going into his nose to kind of help him go through this spiritual journey, that felt a little bit out of place for this show, for Star Wars in general. That's not really something I'd expect to see in a Star Wars related property. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's something that I'd be more comfortable seeing in Doctor Who. Actually, that's something I really would have expected Doctor Who to do. And me being the huge Doctor Who fan that I am, didn't think that whole scene made a lot of sense in a Star Wars show. But that's beside the point. It got us to where it needed to get us. The spiritual journey of Boba Fett getting his branch, which will eventually be made into his gaffy stick, which, sets up the rest of Boba Fett's story. So I think that's really it. That's all we can talk about as far as Boba Fett Episode 2. I don't really see anything else that needs to be covered. I think I already talked about more than enough, and this is more or less the length I want these recap shows to go on. So like I said, really loved this episode much more than the first episode. I'm liking these flashback stints more than the current stuff happening with Boba Fett, and I would definitely like to see more. So that's really all I can say as far as this show goes. Thank you all for watching if you have, and let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What do you guys think about this show so far? And yeah, what other stuff you're looking forward to see in this show, aside from obviously Black Chrysanthemum coming to blows with Boba Fett and potentially Fennec Shan. So that's really all I can say for now. Thank you all for watching, and until the next episode. No fancy intro. I think I've more than given up on that stuff. But yeah, until next time, everybody. Goodbye.
Hello again, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.